The man joining us now in Studio B, as he does on a weekly basis, is Jeff Judkins, the head coach of the BYU women's basketball team. And speaking of conference players of the week,
wow,
Kalani Purcell does it again 3 times in a row, WCC player of the week. And you can't not vote her with the numbers that she's putting up. It's ridiculous. So when you look at her stats, Coach, what's going through your mind?
Well, you know what's sad is that Lexi has had some good games.
Lexi had a 28-point and 11 rebound
she doesn't
contest.
Get in the running because Kalani gets a double-double and almost gets 30 rebounds. So I think that's a real positive thing for our team to have a couple players that really could go up for the award. I will give the conference a lot of credit. To give a player the award 3 straight times, which she deserved, shows that they're not just doing it because of, this team needs it.
Got to make people feel good.
Yeah, they're doing it for who really performs the best that week. And I really believe this. If Lexi would have been named, she probably would have won one of those weeks if we wouldn't have put Kalani's name on. Both of them have been playing very well for us. And I think Mackenzie Morris is starting to play a lot better. And, so those 3 have kind of taken the most shots in our team, and I hope they can keep it up. We got a big week.
Is it 1 vote per coach in the league? How does it work?
The coaches don't vote. It's done by, at least I don't vote. I don't know who votes from BYU, but I don't vote. I think it's done by the West Coast staff, I think, or maybe there's other people that vote, which I don't know. But I think Kalani is, 24 rebounds.
That's the second most ever in BYU history.
Yeah, I go into halftime and look at the stats. And 16 rebounds.
That's a lot of misses from your team, though. Should we evaluate that part too?
Well, from the other
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
She did get quite a few offensive rebounds. I think that really helped her. She got more than normal, but I think she is a great rebounder, and I think people are starting to see that. I've said that from day one. She's one of the best rebounders that I've ever coached, and I think she's really showing that.
8-1, tied for first in the conference with San Diego. The only team you've lost to. That game was the conference opener at San Diego. You get the Toreros back in Provo. So that's good to have them at home coming up. But now 6 of 9 on the road, starting with 4 straight away from the Marriott Center. Do you have your travel bag ready, Coach?
Yeah. Last year we went through this. We were on the road 3 out of the last 4 games, and we didn't win them. We lost them, and it hurt us for the conference. So hopefully we'll learn from that. Hopefully we'll be able to come out and play our best basketball. And, I don't think this team's afraid of the road. We were on the road in November for 3 straight weeks. It's kind of the reason we scheduled it. People think I'm crazy, but sometimes you schedule things to help you for the conference.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah.
Top 10 RPI, 9 seed projecting the tournament.
Well, hopefully we can keep it up. We got a long way to go. We take one game at a time. We got Loyola Marymount, and they're a very good team at home. They gave Gonzaga, really a tough time on the road, and they gave Santa Clara and San Francisco. So we got to be ready to play. I know we didn't play our best game against them here, so maybe we'll come out and play a lot better.
Do you travel lightly? Do you take multiple ties? Give us an idea of how you travel.
I usually take 5 or 6 ties.
For the 2 games?
For the 2 games, and I decide which one I think is going to be the lucky tie. Suit coat, I'll usually take 2 suit coats. And,
one you can throw.
One I can get really mad.
Yeah,
coaches are
like a cheap
superstitious.
One, you're just like, I'll throw it down.
I've got certain things I wear that our team's played well, and I'm not going to lie to you. You think about it. I put it this way, I don't drive. I drive my black truck to every game here because we haven't lost yet. I don't drive my other truck. I drive my black truck. And coaches are like that. They're kind of crazy that way.
Do you have a lucky tie that's working for you right now?
Yeah, I do. You have to really use it when it's important. You just can't pull
use it in vain.
Yeah,
right?
you got to use it when you really feel that you need it. And, I'm not going to tell you that tie.
Yeah, don't.
It has to be a secret. It has to be a secret.
It has to be a secret? Okay.
It has to be a secret.
Okay, just tell us after.
Okay. I'll tell you after the season. How's that?
After the season.
Yeah.
Jeff Judkins, the head basketball coach of BYU Women's Hoops, with us in Studio B. Jammin with Juddy again on BYUSN. Let's talk about some of your pet peeves. I love the emotion that you display on the floor. And you probably are like, when listening back to the games, like, Spencer, what? we point out some things that we think are hilarious, okay? But what is your number one pet peeve from your team? When you see something on the floor and you're just like, oh, timeout. What's your number one pet peeve?
I don't know. I got so many of them. I don't know. I like to be excited and let my players know that this means something to me and my staff. And I show my emotions probably more than a lot of coaches. And that's how I was as a parent. My children know when I'm happy, when I'm mad. And I've tried to coach my team like that. I think the girls know when I come in at halftime and I'm not happy, they'll know it. I don't have to yell and scream and do all these things. I can just say it in a louder voice tone. On the court, I really want them to know that I'm excited for their success, that I'm happy for them. And I hope people realize that I love basketball. I want my team to have as much success as anybody. I'm probably sometimes more happy for their success than they are themselves. And hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes them feel good inside that, hey, that, I'm pulling for them.
Who are your coaching influences?
I would say my first would be my high school coach, Coach Larry Maxwell. He was a coach that really, he ran his stuff and he expects you to do your best. And he did a great job with that, giving confidence to players. My college coach, Jerry Pym, he was a kind of a coach that behind the scenes did a lot for his players. So I try to do that. I think the emotion, I've kind of taken a little bit from Coach Majerus. He got pretty fired up sometimes.
Oh, I don't know, man.
He got more mad probably than fired up with success. But when I played with Coach Jack Ramsey, he was a kind of emotional coach on the sidelines, and I've got that a little bit from him, seeing how he coached. But when I was a player, I got fired up. I got fired up in plays. And so I think a lot of coaches, when they play or with other things they do, they just try to go to where they feel comfortable, and that's how I am. And if you notice my staff, Dan and Melinda are more yelling, and Ray's a little more quiet, but all three of them have got a lot of energy. All three of them really care about this team, and they bring something different to the table for each one of our players.
The WCC officials are very familiar with Melinda's yelling, aren't they?
I think think between Melinda, Dan, and our trainer, Jeff Hurst, they're getting the refs are hearing a lot from those three, which is fine because I don't do a lot of talking. If I ever get mad at official, I kind of blow up a little bit, like what's going on, But it's good to have my assistant coaches and my trainer constantly jabbing at the officials.
Let's say that you're not getting calls and you feel like, man, we can't get anything to go our way. What's your approach to the officials? Like, are you hey, come here, let me put my arm around you. I want you to watch for this. What do you do?
I think I'm more getting mad. Like, we're getting right in their face. Like, hey, what are you calling? And saying in a loud tone. And a couple of the refs this year said, if you keep going, I'm going to give you a T. And okay, go ahead, give me a T. But that's how I am. I'm not one of those that keeps just chirping and doing it. I'd rather coach my team than worry about it. But like the one charge they called on Lexi the other night, it was a bad call. It was a big play. I think those are times that I do get upset with it. And I haven't had a T, but I've come close. The biggest thing that referees worry about me, and you've probably noticed Spencer doing the games, stay in that box, stay in that box, stay in that box. And if I got a
Jeff, get back to the box.
Yeah, if I got a nickel for every time I heard that, I'd probably be rich. But
you'd have a third truck.
But I like to communicate with my team, and that's why I do it.
Have you? You said you haven't had a T like ever?
I've had a couple Tees.
Oh, have you had one on purpose?
Yes.
Like, I need to fire up my team.
Yes, I ran in a tournament a few years ago. We were losing pretty bad, and I ran on the court. I intentionally ran out and got a technical.
You got out of your little box.
I got out of my box, and I got it.
Hey, you're out of your box. That's a technical.
I think the ref was pretty like, what are you doing this far out here? Technical. So I'm sure I'm going to get one, and I don't want to, but if I feel like it's necessary, I will.
A man that could
can't wait.
challenge Stephen Curry for his ability to shoot the basketball.
Oh, boy.
Jeff
That's
Judkins.
quite the statement. Did you ask Jeff before you said that? Gee.
Maybe in my earlier days. I
Okay.
don't think I can do it now. I've challenged a couple of my players recently, Christine Fuller and McKenzie, and they've spanked me pretty good.
Okay.
So, I think I'm maybe losing the Midas touch a little bit.
What?
I didn't warm up, and that was probably part of it. But give them credit.
At Melinda_Bendall weighs in.
Hello,
Yes.
Melinda.
All I said was over the back. Dan Nielsen's way worse than me.
Dan Nielsen does talk more than Melinda. I agree with that. And that's all she did say.
she has
That
two.
really was a bad call.
Yet
because
she has two.
That's all she said, and that's really, I think the referees need to not call it on that.
It's okay because on the broadcast I gave credit to the technical to Dan. So Melinda, it's all good. You know? I put it on Dan in the
Box score.
broadcast.
I love that.
Oh, Juddy, great to have you as always, my friend. Good luck this week during your Southern California road trip.
Hey, thank you guys. One real quick thing.
You bet.
If the NFL was so smart, they wouldn't make bad decisions on these drafts, would they? I don't know why they go through all this combine. Just watch the film and see what the guy does on the football field. I don't care how fast
a
he
pick.
is. I don't care what that. I've had a lot of players in my life that I've recruited that maybe weren't the quickest, maybe don't jump the highest, but are the best. And you can't teach Phil, and you can't teach toughness, and you can't teach players to know how to work as a unit. And too many of this stuff goes too much out on all this other garbage.
Yeah, how would
Bronson is a dang good player, and he's been successful from day one. And I think he is a kind of a player that I think a team will be very, very happy with, just like Andre Miller in basketball. Nobody thought he was going to be that good. Now he's still in the league 18 years.
Unbelievable.
And that's what happens with players.
You would know, man. You played with guys like Kevin McHale and Larry Bird. You know, how would those guys fare in an athletically driven NBA scouting
Now,
combine?
Larry Bird would be the worst in the combine. Except for probably passing or throwing something, but speed, jumping. But, instinct is, and I think you're seeing a lot of it with really good players. And I think, you see it with Lexi, and you see it with Kalani a little bit, and you see it with Kyle. Those are kind of players. And that's where Mangum, that's where I think he's going to be a great quarterback, because you see things like from him that way.
Jeff, again, always a pleasure. Let's do
Thanks,
it again
guys.
soon.
Okay, we'll do it next week. Hopefully we'll be 2-0.
All right, go and win on the road. Jeff Judkins, BYU women's basketball coach, joining us on BYU Sports Nation.